hotel opening bell. It's the second trading day of the week, the 30th of August, by the way, and this is your African markets trading line on Monday. The BRVM finished flattish. Well, you've got a couple of gains and decliners on the market. Of course, the Ecobank Transnational shares gained, but that was moderated by a few other big losses on the Ivorian market. So it finished off on the composite 206.06. The Nigerian market was flattish. An interplay between some of the big names in the banking sector, such as FBN Holdings and Zenith Bank shares climbing. But again, you've got the shares of Nigerian breweries, which is one of the biggest consumer goods, drag the stock market a bit. So we've got a bit of a moderation there of about 49,676. The Egyptian market was negative 0.55%, despite investors trading roughly about $82.5 million on the Egyptian bourse, the biggest market north of the continent. Today, Nairobi stock market, it looks like the sell down on the shares of Safaricom is finally over. After 5 days of back-to-back decline, the shares of Safaricom climbed about 0.7% on Monday to start the new week and begin to coast home towards the end of the month. We had a few other losses on the day, by the way. But again, Safaricom came back. Equity holdings shares were down on Monday. The market in Egypt fell below the 70,000. That's in South Africa, beg your pardon. The GSE fell with the biggest news around Walmart and Massmart, by the way. 1.38%. Resources were down, financials were down, as well as the industrial index. The rand was trading around 16.38 to the dollar when the market finished off in the evening on Monday. So let's get into today's trading day. A bit of news coming through from East African market, with Tanzania looking to benefit from the new debt forgiveness for Africa for 17 African countries that have been selected by China. Tanzania says it wants to be part of that group. China is the one deciding which country, but of course you've got countries such as Kenya being excluded from that list of low-income countries that Chinese wants to support in terms of a debt relief. And 3 executives or directors of Chase Bank have taken the fine that was handed over to them by the Capital Market Authority in Kenya. They've taken that to a tribunal. The war is on. The bank has gone into a liquidation. And the market authorities believe that at least 3 of the directors were part of those responsible for the problem of that particular lender. Now they've taken that particular fine, which was handed over to them to a tribunal. We'll see how that ends up. Then you've got Total Energies says it's exiting its stake in war-linked Russian gas field, while Safaricom, Kenya's PFAs and insurers had bought massively, roughly 9.5 billion shillings into the shares of Safaricom, now being held strongly by institutional investors. After all that done, we saw the shares of Safaricom up on Monday to start the new week. But of course, we're heading straight to the end of the month tomorrow. Then you got the start of September, and that takes us to the end of the third quarter. But look at the West African Nigerian market. A big story, which is Pan-African in nature, is the AfriCarribean Trade and Investment Summit, which is taking place from the 1st of September to the 3rd in Bridgetown, Barbados. The AfriCarribean Bank is the one, a midwife in this relationship between the Caribbean and the continent of Africa as the leading trade finance lender, a specialized financial institution that will have hundreds and thousands of delegates converging in Bridgetown from Thursday to start this particular conference, which will discuss trade, investment in entertainment, in arts and leisure, hospitality, tourism, and other goods and services. Keep an eye on that particular forum in Bridgetown, as we'll be reporting that for you here on Frontier Africa Reports. Then you have Nigeria's second quarter GDP. Looks very good on the surface, but there are pressures under, from fuel prices to subsidy to the problem with electricity, as well as foreign exchange and inflation. All of that will keep boiling under The 3.45% GDP numbers that were reported better than the Q1 for just a few days ago. Then you got a Ghana stock market. The stock exchange says it's reporting second straight year of profit. That's roughly 32% jump over 2021 period. But not good news for the Ghanaian currency. The Cedi, Fitch Solutions, says the West African economy's currency, that local currency, will dip about 43% against the US dollar this year. So far, year to date, we've seen the Cedi down roughly 37% against the American greenback. So the Walmart is looking to buy the rest of the outstanding shares of Massmart. That's the biggest corporate news from South Africa on Monday. But that is being placed. 62 Rand is what Walmart is putting on the table to buy each of those shares, and then says it's going to delist Walmart from the South African Stock Exchange, the GSE. In the meantime, First Capital Bank of Zimbabwe says its loan book rose 37% in the first half of the year, and loan loss was around 1.6%. The relationship between China and Zimbabwe is continuing. Trade relations grew 75%, roughly roughly $1 billion in the month of January to June. That's the first half reporting. While Pepkor's executive Loureno is exiting, the non-independent director, Peter Erasmus, is the one who will be stepping in as the CEO of the retailer, listed also on the South African market. The shares of Pepkor rose slightly on that news on Monday. And the Association of Beer Producers in South Africa says they want an equitable and consistent tax policies within the South African alcohol industry. They don't want a different tax regime from those who are distillers and those who are doing other forms of alcohol. So the beer producers, the South African breweries, and a few others, Sam Miller, they want a very consistent tax regime from the SAIs. Great. What's the North African market looking like this Tuesday, the 30th? Egypt Central Bank issued about 21.5 billion of Egyptian currency, the pound, on Sunday to start the new market week. Russia says it wants about 10 times more of agro exports to Morocco in the year 2022. Morocco and Russia have what you call an exchange of agro products. But of course, Russia says it wants 10 times more of the current size of 2021 size in the new year 2022 with the Russia war in the Ukraine. We're looking at how Russia will be able to expand that particular of agro products exports into Morocco for the current year. The numbers should be out in months down the line. And Egypt says it's financing more of the small and medium enterprises in the country. That figure is around 64 billion Egyptian pounds at the end of June. A bit of a backward looking data, but of course you need this piece of information to get a sense of the business, economy, investment in markets on the African continent. And that's what Frontier Opening Bell brings for you on our daily Wednesdays. Have a great day, everyone. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.